So Vice President Harris, of course, is the former Attorney General of the state of California, and she's been out attacking former President Trump's felony convictions and civil judgments against him. She talks about it a lot on the trail. Trump has been saying, meantime, it's Harris's fault the country's becoming more dangerous. There's been back and forth on this issue of crime, as his survey from police in major U.S. cities says violent crime is actually down about 6% compared to this time last year. Now, our next guest writes in Newsweek, Harris has the opportunity to create a new narrative on crime and public safety looking ahead to next week's convention in Chicago. So Insha Rahman wrote that. She's director of Vera Action, uses advocacy and public strategy to advocate for criminal, legal, and immigration reform. She joins us now. Thank you. What would that new strategy, what would that opportunity be? How do you change the narrative? Because this has been an advantage Republican political issue for some time.
So the new narrative isn't to debate, are you tough, are you soft on crime, are you progressive, or are you conservative about reform, but it's to say that we can have real solutions that work to advance safety, accountability, and justice. And when you think about the debate from all sides, Republicans and Democrats, over crime for the past 30 years, the thing that both parties keep harping on is crime, the thing that voters actually don't want. What voters want is safety. What they want is accountability, a system that works, that when somebody breaks the law, there is personal responsibility. That's taking responsibility, making amends, making sure that crime doesn't happen again, not just more punishment. And importantly, voters care about justice. They want to make sure that there is a system that treats everybody fairly, where you get a fair shake. It's not about how wealthy you are, but that every single person deserves dignity, humanity, and fair treatment under the law. So safety, accountability, and justice is the new narrative that VP Harris has an opportunity to take on and put to bed Willie Horton rhetoric around tough on crime. Yep,
the Willie Horton ad is very, very famous in this regard, and maybe was a good example of how Republicans took control on this issue years ago. But they still have had it, because I think a lot of this, not all the time, but some of it comes down to kind of data, which we talked about, versus the feel and how people feel in cities, or what people's perception of cities are if they don't live in them. That's part of it. Go back to the tablet here. We have the data, right? So violent crime's down. Okay, we reported on this yesterday. We went through it. It's down by 6% in 69 major cities. So there it is, right? And then if you break it down further, again, the numbers over here on of this side of the screen are going to be lower, right, than the numbers over here. So they're going down. Homicides are down. Robberies are down. Aggravated assaults are down. All of that is true. But the feel. And Trump talks about this, and the Republicans talk about this of illegal immigration, for example. The Laken Riley murders, terrible, terrible story in Georgia. That type of thing is what I think sometimes voters remember. How do you square that issue for Democrats?
Yeah, voters don't base their perception on do I feel safe or what do I think about crime based on statistics and numbers. What they base it on is how do I feel, what am I seeing on the TV? And when you see these awful, awful, tragic incidents like the murder of Laken Riley, when Republicans use that to say crime is out of control, the border is open, and it's all Democrats' fault, voters actually see through that for what it is, which is a cynical ploy to play upon and exploit people's fear instead of offering real solutions for safety. So it's why, go back to 2022 and the midterm election cycle, the one thing the GOP ran on was crime. Everybody predicted red wave, right? But it didn't actually materialize. True. And it goes to show proof that tough on crime alone just does not work.
Okay, give me a counter argument then to this. Guys, we'll fast forward to the Trump ad if we have it. Let's play this ad. So Trump puts an ad out on exactly what you and I are talking about. And if you're the Harris-Walz campaign, you see this ad and you say what? Here's the ad.
MS-13 gang member here illegally, robbed a pregnant woman, then released, then executed a San Francisco family, another illegal, arrested, released, then killed this young boy with a sword, illegal immigrant, convicted, released, then violently fractured a woman's skull. Who released every one of them? Liberal DA Kamala Harris. The victim's blood is on her hands.
Okay, so right back to what you originally wrote about, Newsweek. Flip the narrative. What would it be?
Yeah, so it'd be every single one of us deserves safety, security, and stability in our communities. And when Republicans fearmonger and use scare tactics about tough on crime and exploit tragedy for their own purposes, they're not offering you real solutions. That's all scare tactics. What we have is real solutions that work to prevent crime before it happens.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.